What's up? I'm Harry. I'm with this guy I kind of fucking hates Samek. Samek, say hi.
Fuck off.
We're going to talk about our emotional and spiritual journeys this week. The experiment of the week is no experiment because we're both feeling our nose. For the record, I was feeling my nose first, and then Samek
What?
started copying me like he always does. Um, and let's get into it. Samek, what did you learn this week? Or another way to say that is, what are you copying from me?
Oh yes, I'm copying you so fucking hard, Harry. Oh my god, look at you. I'm you. I'm you. I'm Harry. I'm Harry, but like younger and better and like shorter and like darker skin and like look better as well. The first thing is I've been really getting into boxing. It's been like really fucking fun. And I was listening to Mina Lee talk about tea, as she does all the time. And a phrase she had was anything done with a deep amount enough love, or like deep enough love, deep enough presence, leads you back to source, leads you back to the Tao, is what she says. As like she does a lot of tea ceremonies and she does it with like an intense amount of presence such that like it just like pitch quiet. And when she was sharing that, it was like, oh, there's this thing that, and then she was also talking about service versus helping and fixing, and how like she's in service to the tea, like she becomes the tea as she's making it. She's in service to what wants to happen with the tea leaf and whatever the fuck. And there was an aspect of that like that I didn't fully grok before that. And um, last week was wants over should week for masterclass, and we were exploring wants. And a want I've had for a long time is to just go boxing. And I do this thing where I turn my wants into shoulds. So I went boxing, but I was like, oh, I should go boxing, and then I like was going 3 times a week. But then hearing that, hearing like instead of like, oh, I should go boxing because that's what I authentically want. It's like how can I be in service of my wants? And that was like a frame that allowed me to just be like, oh, yeah, I want to go boxing. Let me just like be in service of that. Let me just like go boxing because I want to and not go when I don't want to. And I still ended up going like 3 times every week. Um, and then another thing opened up where like I was actually like embodying my want. I was embodying that openness that the want brought, and that brought with it like a really deep level of presence when I was boxing. So I'm like hitting pads and I'm just like dropped into my body, and it feels so fucking good. And it's like a jab has a feeling, a hook has a feeling, a overhand has a feeling. There's like a feeling to like the movements of all these combos, all these like boxing moves. And there's like an aspect of like this is an art form that was like coming into it that like previously wasn't there. And as I sat with just like enjoying boxing, um, I started like just like on my in my meditation sits, just like imagining myself doing combos and like getting into a samadhi, like getting into a really deep concentration state, just like doing like jab jab, like 1 2 hook. Like I was just like imagining doing combos. And then something happened where like, oh, like imagining doing combos kind of sucks without like an opponent that I'm fighting. So now I'm like imagining doing combos, like boxing combos, as I'm fighting someone. And then it became like a relational thing where it felt like I was learning how to dance. And then it became like broader and broader. Like, oh yeah, this person can like do this move, and then I can respond with this thing. And like it became this like relational dance with like infinite creativity. And then I got like even more excited for boxing. And when I went boxing, I had even more presence and excitement and joy to do it. And then another thing happened, which is as I was imagining doing boxing in my head when I was home, like I have a lot of physical like abuse trauma. Like from when I was a kid, I did like combat sports, and I went to boarding school that was not very, like, this is in Nepal. This is in a fucking American boarding school. This is in Nepal, and like they just like hit you if they don't fucking like what you're doing. Like you get slapped all the time. You like there was this kid who got like pulled by his ear, like lifted up by his ear for like throwing a rock. And I was like looking at it, and I like told on him, and I felt so fucking bad because like, oh, this kid threw a rock at me, and the teacher goes up and lifts him by the ear and is like, don't fucking do that again, and drops him. And I was like, damn, this place is fucked. So I have a lot of like physical trauma. So I was like imagining boxing in my head, and all these parts that dominate me like comes to surface, and I just start boxing them in my head. Like I'm like doing parts work with boxing where it's like I'm gonna dominate all the parts of me that are like trying to abuse me so that I can love it without it dominating me. So like it became like parts work came into it, presence, like a deep level of presence came to it, and deep level of love came to it, deep level of just like creativity and dancing, and like boxing over the course of a week felt like this expansive, amazing art form that I had the opportunity to partake in and do that I didn't have like even like a week ago, just because I treated it like I'm in service to my want to box. I am in service to when I want to box. Like I don't control when my wants arise. Like I don't want to fucking play the ukulele and I have it on my desk. But when I do want to play the ukulele, it's like, oh shit, I get to play the ukulele right now. Like I am in service to this want that arose. And in that, I have like it's like every want when I like actually like fully go into it has like 8 beautiful children. And now it's like there's so much there. And I'm probably gonna go boxing after this podcast. And there's so much excitement and love for it that just colors my day. And there's such a depth to it as well, because I did do combat sport for most of my life. There's like so much memory, so much like even bad ones, even good ones like come up in the context of combat sports that really, really color the picture of just doing drills with the people there.
So I notice your empowerment, and I hate it.
Of course you do.
And so my question, my question is, what sucks about being empowered?
That's such a good question, Harry. Oh my god.
Do you understand what I'm asking? Because I can ask it in a more real way.
Yeah, could you ask it in a more real way?
Yeah, what's the grief of being empowered?
Oh, fuck. There's a lot of pain. Like Harry talked about like nose, like we are exploring our nose this week, and there's a lot of pain in not living my life. There's a lot of pain around not being me. Honestly, it's like, oh, someone asked me to do something that's I don't want to do. There's almost like a resentful, like, how fucking dare you not see me for who I am and not ask me to do things that I want to do for you. There's almost like that, like spiteful, like how fucking dare you ask me to do something that I don't want to do and not read my mind. Like there's almost that in it. And then underneath that, like that's like the first layer of just like resentment. And underneath that is just like pain. Like it's like, oh fuck. All this time where I didn't say my no, I didn't like follow my wants, like beautiful wants that make life an art form. Like there's infinite creativity in like fucking making tea. Like there's infinite creativity in making tea. There's infinite creativity in boxing. There's infinite creativity in anything you do with a deep enough presence and love. The Tao, like infinite creativity in the Tao. And there's like so much like pain. Like I drove around twice this week. I just like looked up a place on my phone, like a viewpoint that was like 40 minutes away. And then I got in my car and it was like a actual like pain in it. Like it's like, oh, this is so painful to not be me. I've not done it for so long. I would hop in my car and I would just scream. I would just be like, it hurts. I would just scream, it hurts, and cry and scream for 40 minutes. And I'd get to the view spot, probably vomit, like actually vomit. And then like look at the grand view, relax into myself, relax into who I exactly am, and then drive 40 minutes back as I'm screaming or like call a friend or something. And there's so much pain and just hurt in like all the ways that I haven't allowed myself to be myself. And when I start allowing myself to be myself, start being in service of my wants, start saying my no's, what comes up is like all the times I haven't. Like the pain is still there. The pain now wants to be felt. And it's like to be in my yes now, to be in my own empowerment, to be in service of my wants now, I like need to, like, there is like a desire to grieve all the times I haven't. And they come hand in hand. They're like, you don't get to skip the unbearable sadness, or you don't get to skip the sadness that comes with not actually taking the option that was always available that you just didn't know about. Like that also comes along with like now changing. Like change always has a grief to it because you're no longer relating to the world the same way. You're letting go of an identity that you've held for such a long time. So there is that component to it. I always like forget. I was like, oh yeah, I did do a lot of emotional work just to be able to be in service of my wants for boxing, just to be able to say no to the things that I don't want, and just to show up as myself.
Anything else here for you?
Yeah, one other thing is like I've had this for running before, and I've also noticed it with other people, which is like when they talk about something with like this like creativity, with this empowerment, with like this like expansiveness regarding the sport. It's like, oh, I could do this in running. There's so much of it. You get so much out of it. It inspires others like nothing else. It's like people get like, oh my God, they can feel it. And I've talked about boxing like 2 or 3 times this week, and I've just started a month ago. I'm pretty shit at it. But like everyone I've like mentioned that I'm boxing, they're like, they get so excited for me. And they start talking about their passions. They start talking about like, oh, I'm so into MMA, blah, blah, blah. I don't do it, but I would love to, blah, blah, blah. And like, I've seen how it just like starts moving people, just like being around someone who's like living their truth starts moving people to live their own truth. So it feels really good to express it, but it also feels good to be around people who are living their truth, because then it inspires me to live my own truth. And it makes it also easier. It's like, oh, this is the normal. Like everyone just gets to do what they want. Like it's like a cultural thing. Like, oh yeah, everyone's empowered, everyone's like highly creative, and what they're doing is beautiful in their own fucking way, and they're able to articulate it in a way where I feel inspired to go for what I want and its own creative beauty.
Anything else?
That's it.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah. I go back to this fucker. This fucker who knows it all. What you been learning this week, Harry?
I'm gonna be silly. All right, so you guys know this guy across from me, Samek. Pretty cool guy. Pretty cool guy. But imagine, what if he was more like me? And like imagine like, you know, in movies when like the bad guys have goons or the bully has goons, like what if I was me and then I had like a little mini Harry, and like Samek could just like do that, and then like I wouldn't have to feel the fear of vulnerability ever, because I'd always have someone by my side who's always doing the same thing as me. So it's just like not a question about it whether it's okay. I always have someone to back me up. And so I personally think Samek should stop being empowered and should instead be my goon, or at least, at the very least, be exactly the same as me. But also, he shouldn't copy me, because I don't like that either. And then what I'm actually saying is, as I become more empowered and as the people around me become more empowered, I get really triggered. So last podcast we recorded halfway through this basically kink retreat I was at, Touch and Play. I did the second half of that retreat. It was fucking awesome. It was also hard, but it was also fucking awesome. And I had another amazing connection with another amazing woman. And then it's like, and also just the vibe of a space like that as a whole is like, there's so much connection and there's so much empowerment, and there's so much people following what they want in the moment, and there's so little, like, I guess you could say commitment. That's not the exact right word, but there's so little locking down of the future. Like, you're not like, hey, do you want to do this tomorrow? You're like, hey, do you want to do this right now? And so you also have to face the uncertainty of like, I don't know who I'm going to be talking to in 2 hours, but if I can be okay with that, I'm probably going to be having a fucking awesome conversation in 2 hours. And all of the best moments of that retreat for me were like, I just keep following my authentic want in the moment. And then like you were saying, I mean, the thing that led to my second, like, just awesome connection of that week was literally just me following my authentic want. And then like, oh, like, where do I actually want to be? What do I actually want to talk about? And I was just sitting down next to this guy, talking to someone I actually wanted to talk to, where I actually wanted to be, saying something I actually wanted to say. And that energy, this girl literally for 3 seconds is walking through the room we're in. And right when she walks through, I like say something interesting, and she literally stops. And she's like, I was like, did you hear that? And she's like, I only heard the last part. And I like retold her the story. And I'm not going to tell the rest of that story, but it was awesome. And so that's awesome. And it also fucking sucks because I just want to. Okay, I'm gonna tell this. Yeah, I think I'm gonna tell this. I feel like people can get behind this. There's this song I've always resonated with by Weezer called "No One Else," which I would say the core lyrics are, I want a girl who will laugh for no one else. When I'm away, she puts the makeup on the shelf. When I'm away, she never leaves the house. And so there's like that impulse in me. If you think you don't have that impulse in you, you're fucking lying to yourself. Everyone's like me. But I think a bunch of people have that.
You hear that? Everyone's mini hairy.
Everyone's mini hairy. Everyone's hairy. Everyone's mini hairy. But I think a bunch of people do have that impulse. And so the first woman I connected with on that retreat, I actually just like expressed that to her, which felt insane. Which is, I was like, oh wow, like I feel the insecurity of like essentially not owning you. Like it's so nice to connect with you. I'll just say what I actually we'll see what comes out. But I was like, it's so awesome to connect with you yesterday. It's so awesome to connect with you right now. And I feel the part of me that's insecure because like, dude, I just want to lock you in my house and like never have you interact with anyone other than me ever again. And I also feel definitely some of that way towards Samek. And I'm like, that's an insane thing to say to someone, which it kind of is. And she was like, damn, that's kind of hot. And she was like, I also have part of me that wants that. And so, you know, that's not going to happen. But, and I kind of talked about it on the last podcast. I guess it's just like, I think it's increasing connection and empowerment also forces me to increasingly feel the grief of separation. And so it's like, I'm more and more seeing how me and Samek are on the same path or in the same river, in the same flow of the universe in so many ways. And it's like, then there's also ways we're not. That's so annoying. And like,
he hates me,
what,
guys.
say it.
I'm not hairy. He hates me.
It's so annoying. Oh my God. And so like the second woman I connected with last week, like we had an awesome connection, but she's like super fucking busy. I'm probably gonna call her like once a year or see her like once a year for the rest of my life. And it's like, that sucks. But like that's how it is. And yeah, so part of me wishes I could control everyone into doing exactly what I want, but obviously that would suck in reality. I don't know. I'm just still sitting with that tension of like, it's so awesome to connect with people more and more, And that almost makes the separation hurt more, or it almost makes the illusion that we could be perfectly aligned entirely, like it makes that seem almost possible. Fuck.
Could you finish the goon thing?
Can you ask me a more specific question? What do you mean?
Oh, like you started off with like, oh, it'd be nice to have a little goon, but then you didn't finish the.
Well, that's just like the right, like for a woman I'm attracted to, it's like a song no one else, like I'm gonna lock you in my house forever. You're never talking to anyone ever again.
Yeah.
For my friend Samek, it's like you're gonna be my goon. And you're gonna be exactly like me and you're always gonna back me up. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think you could call it codependency. It's like the grief of letting go of codependency. You're seeing that codependency wouldn't actually make me happy, but it would kind of rock in some ways.
And we talked about this last week as well. It was like, it's like it's so sad that I'm not you. Like
yeah, exactly.
It's like I'll have it with like any friend that I love a lot. It's like, oh my god, you're fucking awesome. And I kind of want to like have your life, but I also kind of want you to have my life. I kind of want to like hang out with you like all the time. And it's like, fuck, we're not the same person. Fuck.
I'm only gonna visit Samek for 2 weeks in September, and then I'm only gonna run a week-long retreat with him where we spend all day together for a week. Like, that's not enough. Nothing's enough. There's one other piece. I lost it. I'll come back if it's important.
Cool. Anything else for you on that? On the
It's just scary.
It is scary. It's quite scary.
All right. Let me see what I want to ask you. What are you? A couple ways I could say it. It's like, what are you mad about? Another way to say it is like, what is the wisdom your anger is teaching you?
My anger has been really clean lately. It's like, it's almost like there's still like I'm like convincing myself of a no sometimes, or like I say no, but I'm shaking my head to convince myself instead of just being upright and being like, no, or like I'm like, like no, like I'm like trying to get the other person to like accept my no, like instead of just being like no. Like there's like that still happening in my system, so it's like learning to like actually embody and honestly take pleasure in saying my no and actually being myself. So there's that. But outside of that, like the no's are very clear in my system. The anger is very like clean. It's like, oh, this is me. Like, this is what I want. This is my life. So these days, the anger, this is the cleanest my anger's ever been. Now, frustration and like the weird shit that I do around like actually embodying all being myself, like that's still there. And it's really funny because like it feels like it's so funny to see myself as so human. It's like the best way I could put it. Because like I've had this with girls before. It's like, oh, I like them and they kind of like me back. But like they're not like they actually don't want a relationship right now. Right. But then they can't like let it go because they're like, oh, what if like I miss out on like this awesome person? So then they're like, they don't say no, but they don't say yes. And they're just like stringing you along. And I've been doing that to Harry for like a week.
This reminds me of something.
I've been doing that to Harry.
Almost as if I was telling Claude about how mad I am about all of my ex-girlfriends because Samek was triggering me with this exact pattern.
Oh.
Whoa, what?
Whoa. Whoa.
What?
But like being on this side of the pattern, which is like surprising, because I feel like everyone, it's like I didn't know what this side of the pattern felt like until I was in it. And then when I was in it, like I went on like 2 hour long walks, just like trying to figure out what the fuck I was doing. Because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. And I just like would be like walking around. I was like, oh, there's a no here, but there's the no has a grief to it. The no has like a, oh, I'm gonna miss out on like this awesome opportunity. Like no has a pain to it. The no has a heartbreak to it. And there's like an avoidance of it that's like making everything unclear. There is an avoidance of the no that I think a lot of girls do because they have the opportunity to do this quite a bit. And in the avoidance of it, there's like all these like funky fucking relational things that come up. Harry gets mad at me, and Harry's like, "Why are you fucking saying yes, you bitch? Yeah, this is perfect for you. Be me." And I'm like, "No," but I don't say no. I just like, "Oh, wait for me, wait for me. Come on, just wait for me."
Yeah, that
Just wait
well
for me,
said.
Harry. Just wait for
Well
me.
said. Oh my God. I'm jumping in. Like, I was actually 4 days ago, I was right out here. I was playing guitar with friends, and somehow we started freestyling a song about touch and play, and someone was singing about how it's hard. A woman was singing about how it's hard to say no, and we're just like improvising the lyrics. And then I started singing like, "Oh my God, please just fucking say no. If you say maybe, I'm gonna fucking freak out. No, I'm not gonna wait. Oh my God." And though I received many yeses and I received many nos uh, last week at that retreat. And dude, receiving a no is so fine. Receiving a no is so fine. So maybe 1 out of 10 times, maybe every time. I don't know. There's like some rejection in it, but it's like very clear and it's fine. But receiving like a maybe or receiving like a maybe later, maybe is rough, but it's okay. Maybe later. Oh my God. Maybe later is the worst thing ever created. I hate it. And I have many times I've like been interacting with women I'm attracted to in that pattern. And the question is basically, how much am I willing to suffer for the possibility of this? And the answer has always been way too fucking much. And so me and Samek resolved our fight today through a different pathway. But if Samek was still doing the exact same pattern today, which he wasn't, but if he was, and I would have had to be like, dude, it hurts too much for me to wait for you. I'm done waiting for you. Like if you're still a maybe, then I'm a no. Because I'm not waiting anymore. And lost the second part, it will come back.
Yeah, I've been both sides of the pattern, and both sides are painful. Because like one side, it's like there is a no, and you're not honoring it. So I'm not honoring my no, and I'm like, oh, this could be good. I want it, kind of, not now. Like when you're in that, when I'm in that, like there's like a lot of frustration. There's almost like I said it before. It's like a fuck you for asking me for something so awesome that I don't want right now. There's like a very like there's like that piece to it. Like fuck you, man. Like what the fuck? There's like that piece to it. There's like a frustration and anger to it. But there's also like the pain of like not trusting myself. There's like the pain of like not honoring, like not taking pleasure, like not taking enjoyment in my no. It's like no. Like I'm not gonna not be myself. No, I'm not gonna not honor exactly what wants to happen for me. And I really appreciate Harry challenging me on this because I was saying no the entire time. I will say that, but I was not owning my no. I was like, my system is saying a no, like my body is a no right now. And Harry was like, bitch, just like that's not a no. Like tell. So he was like challenging me, and as he was challenging me, I had to. It was not even a had to. Like I wanted to. I wanted to be able to just honor the no fully, own the no fully, And that required like feeling through a lot of pain, going on a lot of long walks of just like, what's happening? Like, what's making it so that I'm like, my gut is saying a no right now, so I'm gonna say no. Like instead of doing that, like it's like no, like no. And that is like there is such an immense amount of trust that's required in myself, and also so much pleasure. And like, you're offering me the world right now. You're like offering me Disneyland, and my body, not even my body, I don't want that. It's like, that is not me. Like, you're offering me fucking like $1 billion, and I don't want that. And I trust that I don't want it, because I know everything you're saying is awesome. I know you're offering me the world. I know you could save me so hard, Harry. And that's not me. And I don't want that. And there is so much pleasure in trusting myself to that depth. And it's not an anger thing, but there's so much frustration in getting to the point where someone is like, here's something amazing. You know, like a girl, like a guy is like, I'm amazing. I'm offering myself to you. And the girl is like, fuck, you are amazing. But that's not me. I don't want you. Like, that fucking hurts. And that requires a lot of trust. Like, that required a lot of trust in my system to be able to say no to Harry when Harry's like, let's do this amazing thing together. And my system's like, this is an amazing thing, but that's not what I want right now. So no.
Yeah.
So that's been like most of like, and one aspect of it is being in my empowerment through like being in service to my wants. And this is also being in service to my wants, but in like a different way. Like, one allowed, like for boxing, it's like seeing the creativity, like the immense expansiveness, and even just boxing. So like in following and in being service of what I actually want, there's infinite creativity, infinite possibilities, infinite like magical moments I get to have. And when I'm not like in full service of my wants, when there's something someone's offering me that's not my want, there's also such empowerment and such pleasure in being like, wow, you're offering me $1 billion, and that's not me. So no, like that's empowerment. That's gonna give me a feeling of I'm Superman. There is no kryptonite, and I'm just gonna be myself. And seeing both sides of that this week has been amazing. And I'm honestly really, really grateful that Harry keeps challenging me to be like, so you're not owning your no. Your gut's saying no. Fuck off. What do you want? And I was like, fuck, Harry. I do want what you want. Please save
Shut
me.
up.
But he's like, no, fucking you bitch. Your gut is not you. What the fuck do you want? I fucking hate this guy. What the fuck are you doing? It was very painful, but honestly quite a gift to be challenged in that way.
Boom. Go team. Oh, I'm thinking like, I'm sure there's a bigger moment where I've been on the opposite side of the pattern with that you're on in this instance. But the small example I can think of is like when I was working at this school, these kids being like, yo, do you want to play this video game with me? And I'd be like, maybe later. Which is just like, yeah, I feel like there's a head thing too, which is my head like, that seems like something I would want to do. And my body / gut is like, definitely not. And then there's like also a fear of like hurting the other person. And your head's like, I hope that I do want to later so that I don't have to hurt this person and I can maybe get something I want. So it's like, maybe later.
That's the exact pattern.
And then you like just start avoiding them because you don't want them to ask you again.
That's
and
the pattern.
yeah. I agree. And then an example that makes it super obviously clear to me that I was talking with a friend about is, right, like if at this retreat, basically like sex, it's like I was asking someone to have sex with me and they were like, maybe later. I was like, oh my God. Even just saying that triggers me. No, but well, it's actually interesting now that I say it. So the first thing is if I was asking someone to have sex with me and they were like, yeah, I'd be like, whoa. That seems like a no. Like, let's not have sex right now. Uh, or if they were like, oh, I can tell my body doesn't want to, but like that seems like it would be amazing. So actually, let's do it. I'd be like, let's not. But dude, something about maybe later just like really leaves the loop open. I'm like, how would I say maybe later if I couldn't use the words maybe later? It'd be like, I don't want to right now, but I'm scared to hurt you, so I'm not going to say no. And I don't want to, so I'm not going to say yes.
There's also an aspect of like the idea is awesome. Like the head can intellectually see every value of the thing. It's like, oh, this is really
Yeah.
cool. I would possibly want that. It's like that's also happening. But then
Yeah.
it's like a no. Like the body is like a no.
Maybe later is tricky. I'll got to do some research into maybe later.
I've honestly never been like challenged that hard on this side of the pattern. So I learned a lot being the maybe later guy for 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Dude.
How long was it, Harry? How long was it?
It was like 10 days.
Yeah.
Man, I hate this guy. Maybe later, dude. I'm like,
motherfucker-
what do I want to do when people say
I was
maybe
like,
later?
no, maybe later. I was running away. He's like, come on, no, maybe later.
Also, Samek would say yes, and then like 2 hours, he'd say yes on a video call with me, and then 2 hours later, he would text me and go, actually, maybe later.
I wouldn't say maybe later. I would say
You
like,
say it's there's a no in my system, which
yeah,
directly translates in Portuguese to maybe later. Fuck you. He said literally last time he did it, I'm
there's a
going
no in
out.
my system
He
right
said,
now.
"There's a no in my system. I need clarity. I'm gonna go get angry," which directly translates to maybe later. It's also a lot better than maybe later, but it still translates to maybe later. Okay. Anything else here for you, sir?
Yeah, when you shared the sex thing, it's like sex is sacred. Like there's an aspect of like, oh yeah, but our wants are not treated that way.
Bang. Well
So
said.
there's an aspect of like, oh, what if we treat every want as sacred? It's like, oh, I'm wanting to go box, like I'm gonna treat this as a sacred thing.
Yeah.
And immediately when I do that in my system, it's like the no becomes so clean. It's like, no. And other people's maybe laters become a no, obviously. Like it's like, oh, like what the fuck? Your wants are sacred too. If my wants are sacred, your wants are sacred, and you have no like. It's not you don't have any control over your wants, but it's like you can't control what you like want to want in a way. So it's like, oh, though if there is no want in your system, then like, it doesn't feel good. It's not loving. It's not what I want. So if I treat the other person's wants as sacred, why would I take anything but a hell yes? Like it becomes there's another level of clarity to it. There's another level of alignment to it.
I really like that. And yeah, I think that is part of what makes the sex analogy so obvious. It's like, I obviously don't want someone to have sex with me if they're like an I don't know, or if they're maybe later about it. Whereas like, I think I probably also don't want, like we were going to maybe run a men's circle together, and I probably don't want you to do that with you if you're an I don't know if you're in your body, but like it's intellectually distant enough from something that like I'm like, just fucking do it. Like, shut up. And oh, come back thought, please. It's gone. Anything else here for you, sir?
No, that was great.
Look at how you said no right there, everybody. The thing's coming back. I'm gonna get it. Maybe later. No, please. All right, it's gone.
Question for you, sir. Bro, I really enjoyed how empowered you were. Like most of last call, you're just like fucking like vibing. What's changed since the retreat?
Good question. Fuck you for not thinking I'm as empowered this call. Fuck you. And yeah, dude, I've been saying shit. I've been saying shit. Bless you. Bless you. Samek sneeze for those. He muted himself. I'm sorry you didn't get to experience that. It's kind of like that story I told earlier with the first woman. And I was like, I low key want to lock you in my house forever. And that's something I would normally not say. I was very ashamed for a long time of enjoying the song No One Else by Weezer. Like I intentionally would skip it when I listened to that album because I was like, this is an unwholesome desire when I was like 17. That song rocks. I don't care if that's an unwholesome desire. So now I just keep saying shit that I would normally hide, and it rocks. Because not saying that shit, you could call self-judgment, but I would really say there's an assumption. When I don't say what I want to say naturally, I'm assuming that the other person can't meet me as I am naturally. And so then when I'm vulnerable in that way, I find, oh, actually, like 95% of the time people can meet me. And like, oh, 5% of the time I actually just want to leave because they can't. So that rocks. The second thing that comes up, yeah, like my tolerance for bullshit, I have very little tolerance for bullshit now, and it's honestly scary. I'm afraid, and there's some shame that I'm like being a dick. Like, for example, how aggressively I was challenging you on your maybe later.
For fucking 10 days, dude. This fucker for 10 days is sending me 3-minute voicemails, and I'm like, God damn it. Just accept my body's a no, dude. Like, leave me the fuck alone.
And for me, it's like it is especially voicing the parts of myself that like feel less wholesome, which is like I was also absolutely in that pattern with Samek. And when I was texting him or sending him voice messages, I'm like, I know this isn't like 100% skillful, but also like I don't need to be perfect emotions boys. Like me and Samek have been like really fucking good friends for like a year and a half or whatever. I guess it's actually only been 1 year. That's crazy. That is crazy. But it's like, dude, Samek can handle me not being perfect. Like, I don't even need to do the case if you can't. Like, Samek can handle me not being perfect. And I don't want to go fucking get angry in my car so that this is cleaner or more wholesome. Like, we can fucking handle it. It's fine. And if Samek sets a boundary and is like, I don't want that level or that flavor unwholesomeness, I'm like, cool. But like if he doesn't say that, then it's like, dude, I'm just gonna be myself. You have something to say?
Yeah, we had that. And I was like, there was a level of like him needling me that I didn't want. And I was like, okay, let's not do that. And then there's still like a lower level where like, oh yeah, I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
And then it was fine.
And it's also like I appreciate, I've been shitting on you in this podcast.
Fuck off.
And that's probably not entirely wholesome. And also I appreciate getting to do that kind of thing with you, because then we get to like, especially the view conversation we had like a week and a half ago, where it's literally just us both playing out a pattern. See, look at that face. Well, you can't see his face, but he's making disgusted face. When we play out the pattern consciously, we get to feel how much it fucking sucks. And then we feel naturally motivated to do something else about it. And that rocks. So it's like, you go.
Yeah, that was the most painful, because I've had that pattern with my dad all the time. Like this fucker, like I'm being myself, but I'm not being like what he wants me to be. And my dad fucking like starts needling me and like being passive aggressive and shit. And I'm like, oh, I can't deal with this. Like, I'm just like, oh, I can't do it. But then like I'm in a 20, like an hour long conversation with Harry, and we're playing out this pattern. I'm like, I can't run away right now, and I am in pain. I'm in excruciating pain. this is fucking awful. So
And
then like I want to change this. I want to heal this, which is,
yeah,
I have the opportunity to like see it, even like see the pain so much more clearly. It's like I was touching the fucking stove, like I was like burning myself. I was like, I want to
yeah,
let go.
yeah. And it's like, dude, if your hand's on the stove and you're not taking it off, like, let's fucking feel it. Like, let's play out the pattern until you need to get your hand off the stove. And I'm not saying like we should intentionally aim for the pain, but I'm saying if that's what's moving through me and that's what's moving through you, then like let's fucking go into it. Cause like trying to both be perfect and like just not do the pattern is actually like another way to avoid the fact that our hands are on the stove. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
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 Yes. Um, so I have way lower tolerance for bullshit. I'm way more willing to express parts of myself that I see as unwholesome, but still very authentic. I I went crazy yesterday. I went crazy. And so like for example, like I'm sorry for judging you for blank. Like, that's very consciously expressing an unwholesome part of me. Um, and there's a lot of freedom in that. Another one I want to say is like, man, just the practice from last week, from that retreat of feeling what I want, asking for what I want, feeling my boundaries, expressing my boundaries, feeling my uncertainty around expectations and asking for clarity about expectations. And then I would also say expressing my expectations, like not only like expectations I want to set, but the expectations I already have. All of those, I had a fucking amazing conversation with my friend Adam 2 days ago, and he was thinking about attending the attunement residency.
Hell yeah.
Samek.com. And like he had a certain deadline to let me know by, and he was like, I'm a maybe, but it's the deadline, so it's a no. And I was like,
maybe later.
It actually wasn't a maybe later. It was a I'm a maybe, but I respect your deadline, so that's gonna have to make it a no. And without going into too much detail, every single one of those things I listed, I was just doing so naturally and fluidly. And it wasn't even a checklist, it was just in me. And it was like a 25-minute conversation of just like, hey, actually I noticed like I want to like extend your deadline so that you can get more clarity to come. Like, can I do that for you? And like, how else can I support you to make this decision if there's any way I can? And also like, this is my boundary. This is the latest I'm okay with you deciding. And I also need to check it, make sure that's okay with Samek, et cetera, et cetera. And also just like being really connected to him and listening to him and feeling what he wanted and saying what I saw and naming what I saw beneath the surface emotionally and what he actually wanted and when he was saying yes, but it was actually, I don't know, etc. And I was just like, holy shit, like this is all happening so fluidly. And truly the feeling was like, I feel like such a fucking man right now, like expressing what I want and negotiating boundaries and expectations with so much fucking clarity and directness and with like compassion and love. And there was one part later in the conversation too, I felt this authentic expression that I associate with masculinity that I've basically never wanted to express before, which is if Samek right now was like, oh, like I suck because this person got mad at me. It's like the kind of thing you'd see in a movie from like an older brother or something, but it's just like the energy of it is like grabbing their shoulders and looking in their eyes and being like, dude, you're good enough. I don't give a fuck what anyone else says about you. I don't give a fuck what you think about yourself right now. you're good enough, and I want you to know that. And even if you don't know that, I'm still gonna be right here with you all the fucking way. And it's like, I'm like, that's always been a cool thing to do, but I've never wanted to do that. So like to just feel that naturally move through me to my friend Adam and like maybe turn that down like 50%, but that just felt really fucking good. And I was like, oh my God, I feel so solid and I feel like such a man right now. And I feel so confident. And I just keep on saying what I fucking want to say. And I keep on saying what I want. And I keep on saying what my boundaries are. And I keep on saying what my expectations are. And I keep on asking for clarity when there's uncertainty. Bang.
I'm curious, like, man, I could do this with like you. I could do this with like Adam. I could do this with a lot of AOA people. I hung out with 2 friends from college and it fucking sucked. Like, I don't know if they will see the podcast or not, but like, bro, like I showed up at like this Japanese place with a friend and I was like, is he posturing right now? Is he trying to convince me that he's okay? Is he trying to, it was like 50 things just like ran through my mind and it felt so bad. Like I felt dysregulated by him, like, I don't know, posturing, lying to, I don't know what the fuck was happening. And I didn't know like what to say because I'm just like, something is happening in this conversation. You're doing a lot to be here. You're doing a lot to be here with me right now. And it hurts. Like, that was like the experience. And I didn't want to tell him that, but I wanted to tell him that. But I was like, I probably won't tell him that because then we would have to fight. And like, this guy doesn't know how to fight because he like it took him it took me asking him to fight for him to set the boundaries that I knew that he wasn't setting, like the last time we fought. And I was like, fuck, what do I do there? And now I'm just like, as I'm sharing this, I'm like, I would just say that. But then it's like, is the friendship over? Then there's like so much grief. Then it's like, fuck. So there's an aspect of like, I want to be able to do that with everyone. And I still have work to do to feel like the pain of like being able to do that with everyone.
And for me, what comes up when you say that is I guess I would say the grief of being at the level of development I'm at.
Oh,
which is
bang. That's great.
Which is, I can say whatever the fuck I want to say, whatever the fuck is authentic in the moment. And part of what might be authentic in the moment is like I could have the assumption that, I should say what I see every single time. Every single time someone's avoiding themselves, I'm just going to say it. But actually sometimes like that's too triggering for me. Like I'm too triggered about being afraid of being abandoned, or I'm too triggered about being afraid that I'm mad at me. Like instead of pretending that I'm okay with any outcome, like, am I actually okay with any outcome here? Or do I need to set a boundary to show up the way I want to show up? And so I had a friend who I was kind of supporting and he was kind of playing the victim, but he was like in and out of it. And so I started with like, hey man, honestly, like I want to support you, but I don't really know how because I feel like you're playing the victim. And I feel like no amount of you expressing in this way will make any progress. And I don't want to be with that. And I don't want to judge you. And I don't want to try to control you out of it. And he's like, yeah. And he received that very well. And so we were flowing with that. But like after like 15 minutes, he was kind of just like flowing into some victim thing, or I was getting too scared of being abandoned by speaking too directly about what I saw and that possibly triggering him. And then eventually I was like, you know what, actually, like I can't talk about this anymore. Like it's too intense for me. So that was really cool to have like both of those in the same interaction, and very different. Both were very vulnerable for me and both were my truth. Even when my truth is like, hey, like I need to stop this conversation because my truth is that it's too intense for me to express my truth on this specific subject at this specific time.
Well, I like that. I think it's like, I want to stop this conversation because it's too intense for me to express my truth. But then like there's an aspect of like, am I going to start avoiding this person? Because is it going to come up again? And I also don't want to avoid them. So it's like, there's so much there. And honestly, I say that in terms of like, I think it's just like the fear of abandonment is like really strong for like friends who like don't do any emotional work, where it's like, they don't even have language for it. and like, how do I communicate this? It's like, I mean, I can just communicate it the way that I want to communicate it, but it's like I would have to like it would be so easy to misunderstand a lot of what I'm saying, and that fucking sucks.
Any final things?
No, that's everything.
Take us out, sir.
Bang. This is a banger podcast. Thank you everyone for watching the 19th episode of the Attunement Podcast. We're fucking killing it. Look at us. We're fucking killing it. We're going to continue doing this for as long as we enjoy it.
That's our promise to you. If you want to come do work with us in person, harryandsamek.com, the Attunement Residency, September 8th through 14th. 4 hours of relational meditation a day. Thank you for listening. I love you all. See you later.